Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my page, Money Making Juggernaut. I'm your host, Eric Richardson. Today we have a great video in store. We are going to discuss tax deed versus tax lien and surplus funds, okay? This is a common question, and hopefully after today's video, you will have a great understanding and you can move forward with your surplus funds business. Before we get into that, make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You guys know I'm coming out with content for you guys. All right, guys, let's get right into it. So tax deed and tax lien, these are going to be two different type of foreclosures held at the county, okay? So in tax deed, the property is sold and the ownership is transferred immediately, okay? So if somebody doesn't pay their taxes, the county is going to host an auction, all right? At this auction, the opening bid is going to be the taxes that were owed, all right? So once they hold this auction, the ownership is going to be transferred to the new buyer, okay? So they do not have any redemption, okay? At tax deed, if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to notify you. If you don't respond, they're going to hold the auction. If you don't pay up, property is going to be sold at the auction, all right? So the property is going to be transferred as is, okay? So typically, this is what investors are doing. They get properties that are probably deranged, that are vacant, not in good shape. They're going to be transferred as is, okay? So this is typically real estate investors who are looking to do fix and flips, things like that, all right? Another thing is the surplus is available immediately, okay? So in the tax deed auction, that surplus amount, which is the remaining profit, is going to be available immediately. This is the most common, okay? You guys will see this often. Now, tax lien, this is something that happens in a few states, and we'll discuss this, okay? So this property is going to hold an auction, but when the county holds this auction, it's sold for the interest, okay? So investors are initially purchasing interest in that property, okay? So they get a deed for that property, okay? They're going to have a deed on that. They have interest in it, and then the previous owner has a redemption period that they can use to go ahead and buy their property back, all right? So if they pay their taxes, they can get their property. If they do not pay their taxes and that interest within the redemption period, the property is gone, okay? So if the property is not redeemed, then the buyer at the auction is gonna receive ownership after that point, okay? If the previous owner does pay their taxes, the buyer at the auction will also get interest as well. Interest typically is going to be from 2 to 36%. And also keep in mind that the surplus oftentimes is not available until the redemption period is over, okay? So you can file a claim, but you're not going to be paid out until it's over, all right? This happens in a few states, okay? So Indiana is a great example. So in Indiana, when you pull up their results for their auctions, they're going to have a section at the bottom that's going to tell you about the surplus. There's also another section that's going to tell you if it has been redeemed or not. If it hasn't been redeemed, then you can go ahead and go after that, but there is a time period that you do have to wait. In the waiting period, okay, this means that the county is not going to pay out. That does not mean you cannot get in contact with that individual. It's definitely recommended to get in contact with tax lien sales, the previous owner or whoever you might help, the heir or company. You want to get in contact with them as soon as possible. You can use a pre-foreclosure method, or you can contact them after that foreclosure. Once you see that that property has sold, you can go ahead and explain to them, look, you lost your property. This is a tax lien state. This means that your property was sold at an auction, but only the interest at this moment, all right? This does not mean that it's the end of the world. If you cannot pay for your taxes and the interest, then there's going to be a surplus that is remaining, and we can help you file this claim. We do not charge any upfront fees, okay? So it's kind of like a new hope, new life for them, and we're in the business of helping them out, all right? So quick recap, tax deed, the property is going to sell immediately, the surplus is available immediately, the ownership has changed. This is the most common. Tax lien, there's going to be a redemption period, quote-unquote wait period, okay? They still lead to surpluses. It's just that the surplus is not available to be paid out until that redemption period is over, okay? So hopefully that helped you guys out. If you're interested in learning about this business, step-by-step exactly how to operate this business, have all the documents needed, and get video trainings, check out the course. Use code TAKEACTION. You'll receive $100 off. I'm here to help you guys out. Thanks.